spin. Let's go. I'm about to take you on a ride.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grass Valley Podcast. Today, I got two very super special guests. And, man, I've been waiting for this since I started the podcast. And, man, I mean special for not only to this community, to me, but to this community. And my brothers from Project H.E.A.R.T, Dave Mullen, Fred Viola, welcome to my living room.
Good morning. So good to be here with you, Ryan.
Yes,
and I
thank
mean
you.
that.
Well, you guys just prayed over me, and I'm already smiling and feeling better.
That's the power of prayer.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yep. So, how are you both doing this morning?
Doing very good. I love this beautiful mountains around this beautiful house here.
Yeah,
it's
me
gorgeous.
too. This is home.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll make it back to this home. How are you this morning, Dave?
I'm doing pretty darn well. Yeah.
Nice.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm better after you guys just prayed for me. I mean, you guys have been, let me just say this. I've never done this in Project H.E.A.R.T at the meeting, so maybe I'll try to do it. I won't do as good as everybody else, but Project H.E.A.R.T, at Project H.E.A.R.T, it's a group of, and they have a woman's side too. But it's a group of brothers, and we all stick together, and we come together, and it stands for holding excellence above relapse team, and so we don't fool around in there or joke around. We keep it real in there and hold each other accountable and have each other's backs, and we go out into the community and try to repair the damage we've done and help. There's a lot more than Project H.E.A.R.T than that. These men have been saving my life. Like Dave goes to court with me every single time, and I could get emotional and start crying. And then Jim, and all the ladies in there. I don't get to go to the ladies' meetings.
No, they probably wouldn't let you.
Yeah, no, but I get to. When I come into the office, I get to see Thompson and all those ladies, and they're the sweetest women in the world. And they go to court. They've gone to court for me too.
Yes,
hugs. You guys are just full of love. And Fred, I've heard about you forever, right? Like forever.
Wow.
Everybody, I've always heard Fred Viola, and never bad things,
Right.
And so. I thought it was another gentleman that I always spot. I always thought that's Fred Viola. But then when I met you, I was like, whoa, you're a total different person. Yeah.
Well, it's good we got the right humanoid.
Both of these gentlemen here on this podcast right now are two of the most amazing men I've ever met.
Well, thank you, Ryan. That's very kind of you.
Yeah. The things that you guys do for in and out of jail and court, and like their lives are like just constantly helping people. And
Yes.
I thank you both for that. I thank you for coming on my podcast. Not everybody's been brave enough to do it, or scared to do it, or so this is big, and I'm super grateful, especially after meeting Fred. And I wanted him on to have both of you. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Oh, what a joy. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I want you guys to tell the story, if you don't mind, of how Project H.E.A.R.T started.
Yeah, let me start with that.
Start wherever.
Yeah, great. Well, I was a probation officer here in Nevada County, since 2002. Retired about 3 years ago in 2022. But as a probation officer, my job, and the reason I went probation, after finishing criminal justice, the reason I went with probation is because it engaged lives.
Yeah.
As an officer of the court, my job was to be professional. My job was to make sure the orders of the court were followed to keep our community safe. And I love that.
Yeah.
Because we all have families, and every one of us want to be safe.
Totally.
So, but I loved probation because probation reached out, had a chance to sit down with people while I told them their terms and conditions. It was a wonderful thing to be able to hear their stories, to be able to talk with them, and to be able to find out what their needs are. Because as Nevada County Probation, their job is to, along with following the orders of the court, is to make sure the community is safe. But what makes a community safe? And what makes a community safe is people. And some people are in a place where they're unsafe themselves because of circumstances, broken families. And so in meeting with my people, when I would have our probation meetings, along with doing the job that I was told to do and trained to do and really excited to do because I knew the outcomes, I would learn stories. And it was there in learning those stories and visiting the homes of those people to make sure that things were being followed through with. I saw lives, real lives like mine.
Human beings.
Yes, and I saw the hurt and the pain that a lot of lives through broken families suffered. So I remember saying to myself, Lord, how do I reach them? Because many people, when they left my office, would end up going back into very turbulent situations. And I just wondered, how do I reach them? How can I walk alongside them? Because out there is where they need the support. Here I can tell them terms and conditions, but how do I give them the support? So then we were going through a realignment, and we had a drop-in center at the probation department, and our drop-in center wasn't done yet, so I invited Dave Mullen down. Instead of having a meeting there, let's go down and let's meet over at Java John's, over at a coffee shop.
John's.
Yes.
Oh, that's some Grass Valley stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Started over a cup of coffee.
So get to that. Hold on. It's cool. Yep.
What, you want to talk a little bit about that, Dave?
Well, what I remember is Fred invited me for a cup of coffee, and I just thought that was weird because I had so many probation officers through the years, and of course, they have their job, and me and my lifestyle, I had my job.
Yeah.
And it was always, cops against the robbers. Not that I was a robber, but, them against us, right?
Yeah.
And so to sit down with someone, with an authority figure, and over a cup of coffee was strange to me. And he said, "You want to do something different in your life?" And I remember that, like it was yesterday. And I'm like, I was desperate. I was 50 years old. I'm coming out of over a 40-year run of drug and alcohol abuse, and I was tired. I was yes, I want to do something different. And so he said, well, let's try something different together, right? And so my walls came down a little bit, right? And then I remember he took me to a men's retreat, right? And he took me on this men's retreat that was very strange for me, taking off for a weekend with a probation officer. Just weird, right? So right there was different.
Yeah.
And lots of feelings and emotions came up, and anyways, after the weekend, I was like, you know what, this guy's all right. This guy's all right. When I remember, the retreat was out of state, right? It was on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe, and it said, "Welcome to Nevada." And I was like, oh no, this guy's setting me up, And it just shows you the trust that I had towards law enforcement. It was horrible. And he said, "You're with me," and I said, "That's what I'm worried about."
Oh boy.
So, anyways, we had a fabulous weekend, right? And then we started realizing there's other people that need that connection too, and real friendship, and so. That was a basis of what Project H.E.A.R.T was, understanding the lack of real friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was so neat because when we were meeting just for coffee, we realized that, let's just be two men right now.
Real men.
Real men.
Just
Yeah.
transparent.
And transparent. So, it's easy for someone in law enforcement to hide behind their gun and their badge
Yeah.
because of their own fears and failures. And, makes you feel better when you got some authority.
Yeah.
And it's easy to hide behind.
Yeah.
But what's the reality? The reality is this. Is
Still
that
human.
We're all human.
Yeah.
We all have fears, failures, inadequacies. And when I sat with Dave, we wanted to do something different, like he was saying, but it was opening up and being real men.
Yeah.
And talking about what are the real things that cause us to get knocked off our horse in life.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I'm a law enforcement officer and I'm hiding behind a gun and a badge to be able to feel better, I'm holding up a mask.
Wow.
And guess what? It ain't going to help me ever. As a matter of fact, many in law enforcement sometimes have to suffer through some life destabilizing issues when they realize an authority given by our county isn't going to fill the hole. And our need as men for love, acceptance,
Yeah.
a sense of identity. What does that is true grace, true forgiveness, and being able to be received as we are and to be real.
Yeah.
And so Dave and I had a great time talking about that. And we did that on the retreat when we went up the hill to Tahoe. And we talked about what does it mean to be real men. And we found such a freedom to be able to say.
Such a freedom. So I wrote notes down real quick and right there on that, while I'm on that, it's like the opposite for me right now. Like my whole life, and through my therapist, I've learned a lot. Like I'm getting back to like my childhood, digging into some stuff, like remembering who I am and where I come from. And like, but anyways, it's the opposite for me because my mom told me this not that long ago. Like she asked, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer or an architect but anyways, so recently, like when you first started speaking about reaching out to, when you're with probation with these guys and in their home life and stuff, and then you wanted to, what you were just saying with Dave, being real men and stuff. And it's like, I'm doing that with like law enforcement on my end as a regular Joe or whatever you would call it, like the guy that's been arrested or in jail and done time. I'm finding it, the friends, like I love all my friends, but getting a new group of friends that it's wholesome, that feels good, like real men, being around real men, like at Project H.E.A.R.T. But like probation is changed a lot since when I was a kid, and they're so nice. They're so nice. They're so friendly and helpful, and things have changed in a good way. I mean,
Yes.
And so like a lot of my son's friends, dads are like sheriff or, whatever. And it's like, I love that feeling of shaking one of their hands or being friends, getting the law enforcement and everybody, the whole community. So like regular Joes and law enforcement broing down. Stuff like that, I've been doing that on the flip side of it, and it's like, man, like you said, it's weird at first, but those are like my new friends. You know what I mean? And they're more polite, more respectful. I had my buddy Travis Benson call me the other day. I think the new chief of the fire department or whatever, and just like that, the respect that I saw dealing with the court, just manners. I just find myself really loving manners and people getting along and like talking nice to each other. And I come from dysfunction and just chaos, fighting, arguing, yelling, alcoholism, all that. So yeah, but to get back onto what you guys were saying, I'm finding it. So I plan on doing these barbecues at the park. And I mean, like this one on Sunday, I want everybody to come for the photo, everybody that can make it. But guys, like we all live in the same community. So like we all got to be friends. And like you were saying, like this officer over here, he's a human being too. And he or she needs love too. And this and that, and they're humans too. So on the flip side, that's my opinion, just like you're saying about, your, what would you call it? Like a probation guy, parolee or something.
Or a probationer.
Coming down to their
Yeah.
level and being human with them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We need more of that.
So important. Yes.
Yeah.
So important, because what happens there is when people are not having to fight so hard to cover what they're afraid to look at,
Yeah.
they become free.
Free.
They're able. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Hey, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." And what's the truth? We're all broke.
Yeah.
We all got some way, shape, or form where we're cracked, right? So let's look at that, because there's always a good step
Yeah.
through the deception. There's always the truth
Yeah.
through any kind of situation we face. And if we do that together,
All
of us knowing that we need one another,
Yeah.
that no man, no woman is an island unto their self, then man, we
And
can
we all
do some
have-
great stuff.
We all have different roles in life, different jobs, and like my son, one of our kids might end up being law enforcement, and it's just like it's cool to see. I have a couple buddies that are now sheriff, and one of my buddies in high school, when I was in the jail, when I met you, Dave, he's a CO there, and I'm just like, wow, I'm proud of you. And he's a nice guy, and he's in there being nice to people, and we're being human, and I'm just seeing a lot more of that.
Right.
I am seeing a lot more of people getting along and being human, but we do need more of it, because I still have friends that are like, here's something ugly, or, like in the Bible, I was reading this stuff about perverse speech. And so I'm noticing it more and more and more, like, oh, dude, I don't like that, how you're talking right now.
Wow.
Like,
The hard part.
I don't want to hear that right now. You know what I mean?
The hard part is, it's easier for us to see someone else talking like that,
If not ourselves. Yeah.
and hide the mirror.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
We need to look at ourselves, and when we do, that's when we start changing. But with Project H.E.A.R.T, we're able to, as friends, be able to pull those covers. And say,
Yes.
take a second look at it.
And we're not mean there, guys. We're not mean like, hey, dude, don't be boo. They're not. They're super loving and nice, and like, I'm not going to call you out in a rude way either.
No, why cause fear to be bigger? Because that's what it is.
Yeah, or
It's
chase
fear.
them off,
It's all fear.
Yeah.
Fear is a thing that is so foundational. It causes us to fight and strive the wrong way to build an identity that will never last.
Yeah.
But when we realize that we're weak, I love, there's this wonderful scripture that says, my power is manifest in your weakness. And that's a beautiful thing, because it has everything to do with love, humility, has everything to do with graciousness, like a mother would understand her own child, a father would understand their children and help nurture them. And Project H.E.A.R.T is not a Christian organization. And the reason for that is I fought over that. The reason when I asked the Lord, how do I reach them? Well, he said, love them. In my heart, I heard that.
Boom.
And so
Boom.
that's so the thing is that to love people, it doesn't mean that I beat them over the head with the Bible, because what is the reality of Jesus? Some people see a TV Jesus nowadays. You mean, what do you mean the Jesus that stole $5,000 from my grandmother? That Jesus?
Yeah.
Or in some cases, people who've had very difficult situations with a leader in the church.
Yep.
And it's very, very difficult. But what does the real Jesus look like?
Yeah.
And that's why I can walk among men and not be afraid, and even hope that if men see anything in me as a Christian, a follower of Christ, that is unbecoming, I would hope that they would call me out. That's why I can walk among anyone. It says in the Bible to love our neighbors ourselves, and that means just to be real.
Yeah.
And what does Jesus look like as we walk day to day? It's like, no, if you don't go to church, then you're no good and goodbye. No, it's loving our neighbors ourselves.
Yeah. Writing the Lord's instructions on your heart.
That's right. So the big thing here in loving our neighbors is love them. That means, hey, are you down? How can I help you? Hey, you need to move. Hey, let's get some guys together. And those people realize that these people are not doing these things to gain something from me. Because that's the number one question. Hey, what do you want from me?
Nothing. Just wanted to help you.
Just want to help you.
Yep.
And the more friends that love each other unconditionally and caringly, people stay together when they see that spirit, the spirit of true love and grace.
They just gave me the chills. Yeah, because that's what it is there. Mm-hmm. And it's growing.
Yes.
You guys are growing in Auburn. And, dude, there were so many in the last. I wasn't at the last one. I was here with Ocean, kind of in pain, soaking up time with her. But, man, tons of people piling in. New faces every night.
That's what we want.
Yeah, heck yeah. And like you were saying, the more bigger we get, the more not damage, but more help we can do and stuff we can get done. You guys are out there doing all kinds of stuff, splitting firewood for people and coming out here, fixing my water line, digging plumbing things for our other brother the other weekend. Which,
Yeah, there's some
firewood.
I have a little story, and I know Dave has one about Eric and what Eric learned through his thing. One of our guys who actually
Shouts out to Eric.
Yeah,
Love Eric.
Eric Lester. He heads the men's team down in the Auburn area.
Oh, he does do that down in Auburn?
He heads up the men's team.
So that's Wednesdays at 5?
Wednesdays at 5
Okay.
at Confluence Church. They give us
Where's
their
that?
coffee shop for free.
Where's that at?
That's right off of Auburn Ravine Road. It's 1101 Auburn Ravine Road.
Okay.
Yep.
Wednesday nights at 5:00.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the little story I wanted to tell you about what happens when we walk with one another and learn each other's story. I had a gentleman who was a scammer, a computer scammer. He's very, very intelligent. He's able to, make money. So we got condors coming over our head.
Sorry about my birds. They must love your voice because
That was a bald eagle.
Yeah.
I just got buzzed by one.
Pterodactyls.
That's right, but that's okay. It's nature.
love 'em.
But anyway, I was going to say
Yeah.
that there was a gentleman. He was a scammer. He was hurt.
Computer scammer?
He came out of prison after years. Dad was in the Hells Angels. And so he grew up in pretty adverse situations where you had to be a man. You could never cry, and so what happens to the real heart is it becomes very lonely and hurting.
Hardened.
He ended up having a fentanyl overdose, lost his leg. And here he is now, is no longer a man in his own eyes. And so he's got together with me, and I'm mentoring him, and he was already a believer, and my job was to encourage him and what it meant to really have a relationship with Jesus, not just a religious connection.
Yeah, relationship.
And so he told me, Fred, I can do this, I can do that, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. And I looked at him and I said, don't really need your strength right now. I need your weakness. He says, what does that look like? What does that look like? I've had to perform my whole life to get somewhere. Mm-hmm. I said, well, we'll see. So we went out visiting in the hospital one Sunday, and we were visiting a gentleman, just had part of his foot removed. And they were coming out, and there's this young woman in a wheelchair. She had no fingers on her right hand. She had no left leg. She had no right foot. And you could tell she had deep trauma going on. Well, this young man that I'm talking about, he had created a website, and it's to mentor people who had lost appendages. And he walked up to her. I thought he knew her. He walked up to her so quick, and he started talking to her, and he told her about that website where she can get support from other people who have lost appendages. And then he says, the Lord loves you, and he's got you. And she looked at him. She says, I really believe that. Mm. And we walked away together. And after saying goodbye to her, we got into my truck. And as soon as he closed the door, this man began to cry. And he just uncontrollably weep. He says, Fred, I never cry in front of people because I was always taught not to. He says, but I'm so affected right now. I'm so sorry for other people who are in my situation who've lost a leg. And I said, sir, that's your strength. That's the weakness. And so these are the things that happen when all of us as men open up and become real.
Amen.
That's it.
And I got a job to do now, gentlemen. One day, Dave said it in the office. He was just joking with me. Maybe not joking with me. But he's like, yeah, you're going to take my job one day or something like that. I ain't doing this shit forever. And I'm just like, I did think about that driving off or whatever. And I was like, I could do that shit. That's crazy. What if I was like, what if one day I'm the guy going in and out of the jail or to court with people like that? And I did. I was like, man. And then not too much longer after that, I got this tattoo right here. Like, you want to know? I was going to get this somewhere else, but I decided to put it on my hand as a daily reminder because you guys have showed up in my life more than anyone, you know? I just recently met you, but you, Dave, and Jim, all of you. But this man right here showed up in my life more than anybody. Yeah.
So, you know, it's the story that Fred was just talking about. The difference between the strength and the weakness. Right?
Yeah.
It's through that weakness where the strength comes, right? And in our men's group, anyways, up here in Nevada County, we try to draw that out, right? Let's hear the weakness.
Yeah.
What's the struggle, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in a room with 50, 60 grown men who have all had struggles in their lives. All of us have had struggles in our lives. Some we want to talk about all the time and think that that's our identity, and it's really not.
Yeah.
Right? And it takes another man to be able to say, you know, I think there's a different way.
Yeah.
There may be a different way.
Totally.
Let's try to walk through this together.
Yep.
Right? And that's where the relationships are born. That's where we start to see that there are different tools. We're so busy using these tools in our life and thinking that's going to be our strength, and it's not. That's what's holding us back.
Yeah.
Okay? What gets us to the other side is help from another human being.
Yeah.
Who comes out of love.
Yep.
Doesn't want anything for it, right? Love is not, there's no price tag you can put on love. Right? Absolutely no price tag. It is priceless. And if it's priceless, why not give it for free? Because it's given to us for free.
And that beauty of that is like some people that may not have been raised or grew up with that get to see that through that love. And then that people won't even know how to be that without seeing that or getting that. Then they can go and pass that on to somebody else once they understand the concept of, oh, these people don't want nothing from me.
Yeah.
They just love me.
That's right.
They're my people. I trust them now. I'm going to stay close. And then it's a constant flow of love, and it goes back and forth, the cycle of love, you know?
And like he said, it didn't come from us.
Yeah.
No.
You know, it says,
No.
you know, I love John 3:16. It says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that who would ever believe in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. That's called the gospel in a nutshell. And I can give that to anybody. You know why? Because it's real. It's not made up. It's not a mask I'm hiding behind, like a gun and a badge.
Yeah.
It's real. I used drugs from the time I was 13 years old all the way till 20 years old. I was in the game in East San Jose. People don't know that about me.
Damn, I did not.
That's right.
Wow.
So the thing is that when mentors came into my life who absolutely had a real and pure relationship with Jesus, not a religious one, not a religiously self-righteous one that pushes people away, but had a real one that drew the most hurting. They served, they loved, they stepped into people's stink. They didn't have to
Like
hit
Jesus
them.
did.
Huh?
Like Jesus did.
Yes. And he loved
Not
them.
like the religious, like you said, but like Jesus did.
Like Jesus did. It says we were drawn by his kindness.
Yeah.
Wow. He was healing the sick. He was walking. You know, the most beautiful thing that reminds me of why Project H.E.A.R.T is so successful is because all these religious Pharisees, people who were religious and, God called them, you're like whitewashed tombs and filled with dead men's bones. They were religious. They were the church leaders of that day in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And he spoke against them because they weren't truly honoring God. And he walked over to a table of sinners and tax gatherers, people that the Jews would not get near because they were stealing, they were doing all this. And he sat with them at the table. And they came up and they said, look at this guy, Jesus of Nazareth, sitting and eating and drinking with sinners. He stood up, and you know what he said to them? He says, I've not come to call the righteous, but the sinner. It's not the well that need a physician,
Yeah, it's like,
but the sick.
yeah. Like, what is it? Don't try to fix something that's not broken. Jesus went after the ones that needed to be helped and that were broken. Yeah, the lost sheep.
That's right. And so we get to do that in a real way.
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
can
you're
do that
doing
with
that.
everybody.
Yeah.
There's nobody we won't sit with, talk
Yeah.
with, and say, hey, how can I serve you?
I'm in that office listening. I hear you guys on the phone. You're constantly taking a new guy in, and going up. What are you doing? Oh, headed to the jail, or just leaving the jail, or text me back. I'm in court. You guys are on fire. And
Well,
thank you, both of you.
It's a pleasure.
Seriously.
It's a pleasure.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. And that weakness that you're talking about, like, I vulnerably, and thank you for sharing that about, your the beginning and all that. But like a lot of you all know my situation, and you guys do, and that weakness right now, the fear, all the dark, this that I'm going through. I am going to take this and help people with it. Like, I am. It's hard. I'm going through a lot, but I am just when you guys walked in, I'm kind of released some, like in a Project H.E.A.R.T meeting, released some stuff, and my brothers sharpened me up quick and like reminded me. But that's what we need. We need to be sharpened. We can't do it alone, guys or ladies and gentlemen. We got to have our team. We got to have our people, and not just any people, but like good, wholesome people.
We need it.
Yeah,
I need it.
I invite people to Project H.E.A.R.T all the time, and everybody's like, I'm like, to the point. I'm like, I didn't do it so much because it's like we might get to a point where we need a bigger place, right? Didn't you guys say you used to have like 100 or 50 people in there at some time?
No,
50 or something?
No, we're up in the 60s right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
We're in the 60s? Dang. Yeah, we got
that's
a
good.
lot. Yeah, no, it's great.
That's good.
And I encourage more people to come in there because the bigger it gets, the better this community gets.
And the reminder
Project
is you don't have to be a Christian or a
Yeah,
religious
you don't.
person to be
it's
there.
It's not about
Come on
NA
in.
or AA. It's not about any of that.
It's about being real with one another, being
that's,
open.
That's what I love about it the most. Sold.
Yep.
You guys had me sold. And I still get a little nervous. I just created this new thing on this podcast, and I relate it to Project H.E.A.R.T. It's like jumping into a cold river instead of putting your feet in when it's cold and you go, oh, shit, that's too cold for me. And then you hesitate. Just like jumping in when you go to talk. So like at Project H.E.A.R.T, I get nervous and I want to talk a lot, but I'm getting better at opening up, right? A little better. Because I get nervous. Sometimes I'll keep my head down. Sometimes I don't breathe. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I could tell. I could feel it.
You're feeling safer?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I do. Oh, and those guys there's a lot of other guys that I've noticed are starting to talk too. That when I've been in there, over a year now, and there's guys that were nervous like me, and now they're talking.
Yeah.
See,
and it's cool. I'm seeing a lot of growth in a lot of those guys. I'm out here at my house, but there's guys in the tea house and where do you pick 'em?
Inpatient treatment
Yeah, inpatient
facilities.
treatment. And I've seen them come out being a little this and that, and then get latching on. And then now some of them got a driver's license and a vehicle, and they're about to graduate their program.
Yeah.
And they're still in Project H.E.A.R.T, coming every Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Remember, a lot of those guys, they didn't have a job. They didn't have a driver's
No,
license.
they didn't have nothing. They
because
came
they're
out
living in fear.
living in fear, but they had no family or friends like they have now through us.
support.
Yeah, no
Right.
support. Thanks to Project H.E.A.R.T, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Tons of
a
guys.
lot of us, coming out of that lifestyle, just have no direction.
Yeah.
We're lost.
Totally.
Right? So, what we need in our lives is direction. Okay? And sometimes God uses people that you wouldn't expect to give the right direction. Okay? But we're so busy following the person that we think is giving us good direction that we stay stuck in that rut.
Yeah.
Right? And you can keep digging a deeper rut. The longer we stick with it, it's just challenging, right? So, with the guys in Project H.E.A.R.T, they're committed to life-changing experiences. How do we get those? We stick together.
Yeah.
And we get to see that with
I can't
other
do it
people.
alone. No,
None of us can.
I can't.
But we think we can.
Well, yeah, no, I know what you mean by that.
We try
Yeah.
to do it ourselves.
I've been that way for years. Yeah, I've been that guy for years, and I can't. And I open up, and then I go, like you were, forget which one of you were saying it, but it's like, it's freedom. Yeah, it's freedom.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like all the fear and the demons in your head flee. You know, I can't be alone. And so I always, on this podcast, I encourage people to reach out to me or Project H.E.A.R.T or a friend or a therapist because, I can't do it alone. I get left alone in my head. You guys already seen I'm dropped my kids off at school this morning and I'm out here by myself waiting. Where are these guys? And I'm already starting to stress about life and my dogs and my mom and this and that. But yeah, we can't go out here and do it alone, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's
or if you need help, closed mouths don't get fed either,
That's right.
It's just running around in circles and circles with no purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be afraid to come and open up.
Don't be
Because
afraid. You are welcome.
We all need to hear other people. And, many times guys come for the first time and they realize that everybody in that room has a lot of the same issues.
Yeah.
And we talk about them. Now they're up on the table. Now we can turn on the light. Now we can make the next best step together. And we say, Eric probably got this, we've never met a problem that we couldn't overcome together. When we apply
Together.
the living truth to it.
Yeah.
And the truth, we can test it, and it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super grateful for you guys and especially doing this podcast today because I am on that. I'm excited about my new life. And you said this, or a lot of people did, can't wait till it's over to just get it out of the way. It's like not over yet, but I'm excited about my new life. I am. And I'm excited about like doing all those things because it's freedom and I've been trapped and I've been in fear and I've been my worst enemy.
Just wrapped up in fear.
Oh yeah. Wrapped up in fear.
So what's the outcome when we try to apply something in our life when we're wrapped up in fear?
Closed doors and hitting walls and
Isolation.
yeah. Oh,
Isolation.
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't know how to deal with it. We don't want other people to think we're undone.
And we don't want to rub it off on them either, too. So we'll go and we're like the tough man or whatever. We'll go hide and
Only in the movies.
yeah.
Only in the movies.
Clint Eastwood.
Hollywood.
Is Hollywood still a thing? No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's really neat to. First, it's an honor to come up here and do this with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
We love
for
you.
sure.
I'm so glad you guys did. My therapist, Shannon, couldn't come just because of she was going to come on a Saturday, but she couldn't due to legal purposes because I'm still her client.
Client.
So she will come do it one day. But she's going to be checking in with me in prison, and she said that she would help bring my daughter to me if I didn't want to see, who.
So here's the thing, for those that aren't aware, Ryan has a prison sentence to serve out. And
Here, talking to the mic a little more.
Ryan has a prison sentence to serve out.
There you go.
And I was talking with Jim Amaral, our executive director, this morning over breakfast, and talking about what it's like to do that time, right? And you can go do your time, right? Or you can go and do something with your time while you're there, okay? this could be a good experience for you. Okay, doesn't matter if they have programs in there. Some prisons don't. They just don't. But what are you going to do with your time there?
We'll see, because right now I'm in the mystery of, last time I went to prison, like 20 years or so ago, like a long time ago before I had kids, it was a lot different. I didn't have kids, but the charges were different too, and I didn't have as many points. So I believe now I'm going to have more points, and I'll probably be going to a big boy yard, level 3 or level 4. I'm not too sure. And so it'll be different for me, because last time it was a level 2, and I had it pretty easy, and I too easy, like slacking off, art, games, tattoos, this, that, gambling, dominoes, having fun. I had a cell phone in there. I don't plan on playing around or none of that stuff this time. But especially when you go to a higher level, those boys don't play. So there's rules, and I like rules. I like rules, and I'd rather be around rules, do my time, read my books, have programs, this and that, spread that love, and you know, when and where I can, say, you know, preach good news.
So anyway,
whatever.
you look at it, there's going to be negativity.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Everywhere.
So what are you going to bring to the table?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be prayed up just like last time. I was praying on my way to chow. I've seen people thrown off the 3rd tier, stabbed in breakfast in the morning. I've seen people, I've seen so much horrible things in there that I was just in constant prayer. And I feel like prayer was what kept me safe in there. So
I'll just share a little story with you. My nephew, he's been down for 30 years. He did 2.5 years, went right back in, got a 17 to life. He got another 17 right after he got out. And, you know, I talk to him from time to time, and his out date is 2030. So for those of you that don't know, that we do a reentry program for people coming out of prison who have had prison experiences and have no directions, right? And what we try to do is reintegrate them into the community. So I deal with a lot of people with, you know, coming out of prison. And some, you'd be amazed at what they do when they're behind the walls.
Oh, my buddy Matt just called in from prison. He's got 3 degrees. He's going for a 3rd. He's graduating with his 3rd one.
That's what I'm talking
and going
about.
for his master's. And Matt Roberts, yeah, he is.
I know Matt Roberts.
Matthew Roberts,
Yeah.
yeah. He just called me the other day, and he was on the podcast through the phone, and he gave us the good news, and he graduated already. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I
there's-
plan on writing a book, and I have a testimony that I'm working on over here. Remember I
Okay.
told you about that I started to write to the judge?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn that into that, and then I have a book I'm going to write.
Okay, but like I said, you know, it's about doing something while you're there.
Oh yeah,
okay?
I'm going to write a book,
'Cause
a
God-
testimony, and some music.
Even
Hopefully.
even though it sounds like such a tragic thing, it could be the biggest blessing in your life. So my nephew has been in there for a lot of years, okay, and we've dealt with a lot of people that have done a lot of time, right, and a lot of people come out of there and they have enough money, they've saved enough money, even though it's minimal pay, but they save enough money. They might be able to get a car, you know, but they have some direction, right? My nephew never did that, right?
Yeah.
He went in there and is, you know, clicking up and doing construction jobs and has no money to come back to, right? And relying on outside sources for commissary, right? You know, for his canteen. But yeah, here we are,
Sorry.
Wild Kingdom, birds flying through.
But
So it's just my hope and my prayer that while you're in there, you can stay focused on, first of all, your relationship with your God, right? And that's the most important thing, because being that you're going to be locked up, okay, you attract what you got, okay? You go in there and you're a believer, guess what? You're going to attract the believers, okay? You go in there looking for trouble, guess what you're going to find? The believers.
Yeah, yeah. And I was gonna throw down too. Is that you said that the big boys don't play? You know, God does not play.
Yeah.
God is. I am the good shepherd.
And that's the big boy.
That's the big boy.
Yeah, no, what I just meant, like, there's a lot of goofing around.
There's a lot of goofing around.
And you know, when you step up a little bit higher, those boys aren't goofing around at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
The
At all.
beautiful thing is that
Very,
you-
very disciplined.
Yep.
And my dad was in the Air Force. Sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
He was in the Air Force, and he installed nothing but honor and manners and respect in me and my brother from the start. I mean, he would disown us if we did, or he was to this day, and that's what he protected me my first term because I walked through with manners and respect. And I think that manners and respect was the only thing you need to have in life, like going through a place like that. But in life, you can maneuver through life with manners and respect and a good approach. You know, don't approach somebody as an asshole or in front of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say something if you still remember.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, when you're standing with the living truth, Jesus, no matter what happens, you're standing in the truth. And that's the beautiful thing. It says they loved their own life, not even unto death, because we stand. And that's the joy. God came, the gospel is so that we would have eternal life. That means this one's just a blink. And to live, Paul says, the Apostle Paul said, to live is Christ and to die is gain. So there is no end to what we can do in standing on that solid rock for ourselves, for our friends, and for those who are hurting.
I love you, brothers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming down. I know you guys got to get going soon. Wish I could be saying I want to have you back next week or something like that.
We'd be glad to come back anytime you'd like.
Yeah, you'll be back when I'm back. How's that?
That's
Okay.
great. No, and you're not alone. We're with you through this whole process.
Thank you. I love you, Fred.
Love
I
you
love you,
too.
Dave.
Love you too, Ryan.
Really appreciate you guys. God bless you both. And God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. And all the stuff that we talk about, just try to listen to it and take it to heart. And we all need to get along and stick together. And in community, that means all of us. We all are in this community together. So
That's right.
we all got to stick together and make good choices. Love you guys.
Love you too, bud.
All right.
See ya.
Have a great day.
All right.